Good afternoon. My apologies there. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting propaganda cast from the host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, here to do into your eyes, and here's another glorious propaganda cast, a 1 versus 1. Yes, I have and yes, it's 1 versus 1. I have been looking for a 2 versus 2, but trust me, nothing good so far has really come up, which is a bit sad. I mean, I really, want to cast good 2 versus 2, but they're so bloody hard to come by. We shall be watching WMDSandland fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 2nd SS Panzer Division, das Reich. Opposing him shall be Noluckystrike, fighting for the Americans. Huzzah! Fighting for the 5th Infantry Division. It's going to be turning out to be quite the fight, quite grueling, with quite a few interesting things happening, actually. Though, of course, I should not reveal it, and perhaps I shouldn't have used grueling then, should I? Ah, well. Too late now. Engineers moving up, and we're in fact seeing a 1 engineer start from Noluckystrike right off the bat. He is focusing very heavily on getting infantry out, where Sandland is, in fact, setting himself up for a bit of the other way, with a what rather looks like to be a... if I can spot the bloody bastards. There we go. 3 pioneer stats. I mean, we are seeing a bike out, but in this way already things are looking a bit lopsided. Sandland is focusing on getting as much territory as possible, and Noluckystrike is focusing on just getting as many crouched dead as possible by getting his more infantry out earlier. And the thing is, this works only really for the Americans, because riflemen do have a higher capturing speed, meaning, you can't do the damage. You can also then sort of follow up with a lot of territory being captured, whereas with the Wehrmacht you have a more regular capturing speed for all units. So in that sense, Noluckystrike is starting out with quite an advantage. The only thing really holding him back is going to be this spike and perhaps some pioneers, and the pioneers are not necessarily going to be putting up the bravest, most astounding of fights. As the Riflemen are pushing on, we're seeing the 2nd squad moving up. Already here the pressure is increasing heavily, and Noluckystrike on Sandland, and we're seeing a Jeep out 3rd for Noluckystrike, really going for something extra. The right hand side already in dire trouble. Engineers go down as the bike just fires away a stream of MG fire, and a pioneer squad goes down within the first 3 minutes of the game. Those SS pioneers never saw it coming, and we're seeing an MG42 out next, and there we go, Sandland inquiring 1 engineer, and Noluckystrike being the jolly nice fellow he is, answering yes. Jeep coming a bit under fire, but moving forward, doing a bit of reconnaissance, trying to spot out the German positions, the crap positions, and of course in Company Heroes 2, you can't see through the hedgerows as you otherwise can in Company of Heroes. Right now, of course, with the spike, he can see quite a bit. In fact, he even seen passed through 2 walls. Super Jeep. It came from the planet Krypton. Thankfully, it wasn't bullet resistant, as the crats were to find out, but Super Jeep nonetheless. Pioneers moving up to repair the bike. MG waiting. Bit of lighter fighting going on there. Engineers moving over towards the left-hand side, going away where the Germans aren't. Some German infantry moving up to the Volksgrenadiers, or in this case SS Volksgrenadier, although technically they never existed, so some sort of lower quality SS troops, and we'll just imagine that. Of course, a bit of imagination always helps when it comes to games. Riflemen coming under severe fire from the bike, from the Volksgrenadiers. MG holding up here. In fact, could ensure the rifleman right here could not join up with the rifleman, which would be a definitely nice separation move right there. We do see him setting up. Noluckystrike that's a bit too slow, and the bike quickly intercepts, meaning this rifleman squad is unable to get the jump on the MG42. Bit unfortunate right there by Noluckystrike. And already, despite having the infantry advantage, Sandland has been able to really nicely stabilize the entire situation. Partly, of course, by focusing a much shorter frontage, meaning it's going to be a lot harder for Noluckystrike to sneak in, which rather means that Sandland, of course, was rather strategically apt there and chose the best fighting ground for himself. And meanwhile, we do see that Noluckystrike is beginning to secure the left-hand side. We do see Sandland moving up a bit cautiously up the right hand, although some minor forces also being shifted towards the west. Another squad of Volksgrenadier. Could see these engineers coming under fire again, and there we go. And we're actually seeing a 2nd engineer squad out for Noluckystrike, so he has got himself some more engineers. 3 rifleman squads out for Noluckystrike, pushing on, doing damage to the krauts. Mines going down for Sandland there. Great stuff. Great that you sort of can begin initially laying down some mines. Again, it can always make a difference. Whether it be if you're forced to retreat and, you know, delaying your opponent, just, you know, keeping your flank secure, or basically just being a bastard. And when it comes to mines, being a bastard is amazing. Another MG-42 actually out for Sandland. So 2 full scale squads, 2 MGs, and a bike. And there we go. Grenades going up for Noluckystrike. His rifle right here getting blasted from all sides. The wooden fence sadly provides not enough cover, in particular when they're on the wrong side of the fence. Jeep moving out, and we're seeing actually a mine there by the garage. Hopefully Francois will not come to pick up his truck. Otherwise, he might get a surprise. But he had a bit of fire though from the rifleman. Jeep needs to be careful here. Doing a bit of reconnaissance again. Super Jeep to the rescue, saving its fellow Americans, except for the mine, because Super Jeep can't see mines. Securing the fuel point right there. Volkswagen's moving up the left-hand side. Opening up right there on the Jeep.
Losing ground out there.
And a small engagement between engineer forces from both sides. Pioneers, engineers. The pioneers are forced to retreat. The engineers got the advantage. And riflemen engineers moving down the central road. And we're seeing a 4th squad of riflemen out. And we're also seeing these riflemen in an anything but envious situation. And there we go. 2 men. And he needs a triage center for some of his troops. I mean, they're awfully beaten up. But now the mine is gone after someone. Heroically threw themselves down on it to detonate it. Several, in fact. Very, very brave group sacrifice, I suppose. Or just someone walking into a mine without knowing about it. Bike. Oh, he got the damaged engine on it. And oh no, Noluckystrike doesn't hunt it down. Sandland Spike is allowed to live another day. But at the same time, he's getting the drop now. We could see Sandland's forces here getting outmaneuvered. The MG can't cover all. The Volkswagens can't cover all. The flamethrower pioneers were able to... Well, the flamethrower... There we go, grenade on the MG. Oh, doesn't get it. The rifleman could intercept and... No, it gets away. But there's still the Volkswagens with... Although they do have some mines here right in the fuel point, which could make an American assault directly a bit of a unpleasant proposition. Jeep needs to be careful. Oh, Jeep veers away. Super Jeeps. Jeep sensors managed to avoid it. I'm not entirely sure what else to call it. Volkswagens under fire, and there we go. Pioneers retreating. Volkswagens retreating. Other Volkswagens moving up right into the front. Grenade. Oh, a bit didn't quite there. Nice attempt at a prediction, I think, by Noluckystrike. Noluckystrike, but Noluckystrike. Sadly, though, the Volkswagens were too fast. They had had some extra good lunch that day and could run a bit faster. Attempt at sandbags, though, is ruined by Noluckystrike's riflemen. Jolly good job there. More riflemen pushing up the right-hand side is, for the moment, lost to Sandland and the 2nd SS. Bike moving up, fully repaired, and there we go. MG getting to the outflank. Could we see another great? No. The MG quickly packs up. Bike moves up there, having taken the secret route. And we are seeing more pressure being laid down on the house. The MG-42 moves in to support as well. Volkswagens and bike pushing up the right-hand side. And we're actually seeing 3 squads of Volkswagens, 2 MGs and a bike. And we're seeing a Sturm Army up for Sandland. He is making a Sturm Army rush. I think the only reason he's doing that is because he saw the grenades and figured he might be able to get away with it. But that's interesting. Not very often you see that. That's also probably because he's been holding most of the high fuel points. So again, it's not that his opponent's been getting a lot of fuel enough. And then we got another mine goes off. Engineers down. Riflemen caught inside the house. The Volkswagens are laying the siege to it. They're not doing too well, though. Taking heavy losses in the process of winkling out the Americans. These chaps up here doing well. The Jeep moving in. Harassing a bit from the flank there. And at the same time, Noluckystrike making a good solid push up for the left-hand side. Trying to deny the filthy Krauts any resources there. Rifleman besieged. Forced out. And I absolutely know who's Captain One Price is talking to. I imagine, though, because I also saw this while watching through the replay, that he's chatting to Noluckystrike and trying to be a bit of a troll, sadly. Pioneers, though, dropping left and right. Keep actually with 3 kills and getting a 4th kill on the MG crew. That's definitely nice. Wire there, doing nicely. No further resources. We're now seeing a trio sent up for Noluckystrike. We're also seeing quite a bit of manpower being floated in the German camp. Let's go have a look at that. And there we go, 3 Volkskriegs, 2 MGs and a bike. It's something that can be used aggressively but also defensively. Again, infantry in that way is quite, nice in several ways. And of course the MGs really add some defensive power, but even then with that much infantry can even be used a bit offensively. But so far, though, Noluckystrike is actually doing a pretty good job in containing Sandland and actually gaining a large part of the map. So, it's obviously not foolproof, but we are seeing an armoured car out there. The 2nd SS, Schwere Punches bewachen. Troops advancing up here, coming under fire from a bike. Flamethrowers from the house. Armoured car advancing. Mines going off as he goes for the cutoff point, but Noluckystrike had predicted that. On the other hand, the rifleman might be less psychic and actually get blasted to bits. Rifleman here causing a full retreat from the right-hand side, and nicely done there. Fuel point, though, has been secured by Reich, and mine goes off, damaging the engine. Really nice compartment. Mining right here, I think I'd sort of call it, mining entrances, mining main roads by Noluckystrike, and this armored car is completely out of the match. If only he had something to really finish it off with. He does. I don't think he has sticky bombs or an armored car. From that sense, it's a great opportunity, but sadly, Noluckystrike is lacking the ability to really, deliver the killing blow.
The enemy advances.
Which is a bit sad. No doctrine as of yet. We're seeing a 2nd heavy armored car on the way. Pioneers are rushing forward through the brushes up to the heavy armored car on fire. They're considering if they should do it, but decide to do so anyways, since there's a lot of others breathing down their neck. Rifleman advancing up here, getting stopped with the MG42, watching the central road. Volkskriegs hunting them down. Noluckystrike making good move up for the right-hand side. Going for the high resources. Supply it up as well. More on the way from the barracks. And there we go, 2nd heavy armoured car out. Had quite a few upgrades. There's not just the one which which made it the Puma. There was also sort of 2 cannon upgrades. One was for full pack 40. Another one was more the sort of gun on the Panzer IV infantry support tank. It's actually also quite interesting to watch how they sort of look there. But little fun facts there. Armor car's been prepared. MG hits the mine. And the Jeep all of a sudden comes under severe fire. Rifleman making good progress, but getting suppressed. Flamethrower pioneers rushing into the house as well, making it a slightly less fun place to be, in particular when the outhouse catches on fire. Armor car pushes in as well, going to force a full retreat right there for Noluckystrike and the 5th Infantry, and they're going to hit a mine. More men lost. Sandland making good progress on all flanks. With sufficient infantry forces and other resources he can muster, partly supported by the armoured cars. Definitely helping him. And again, Noluckystrike is a bit lacking in something that can really take it out. He doesn't have a motor pool with either some anti-tank guns or an armoured car, which we see Rangers now. Actually, that's not necessarily bad, but at the same time, I am wondering why we're not seeing anything like an armoured car. Oh, I just thought the Rangers actually shot at the Jeep with a bazooka. That would be a bit daft, but that was obviously the Panzer V. Volkskriegs squad could go down to the Rangers. And there we go, Volkskriegs squad is down. They died as heroes of the fatherland. Screaming and on fire, as apparently seems to be how it goes. Armor car being pushed away, Rifleman Rangers pushing up. Bike is down as well now for Noluckystrike. Jeep veterans won actually. Oh, I think he might have gotten the bike actually. Impressive. Super Jeep to the rescue again for liberty and the American way of life. Armor car pulls off and gets absolutely fusilated by the bazookas. We now see Blitzkrieg up. We're seeing veteran SS troops, the Stormtroopers, the SS Panzergrenadier moving out for the fatherland. Moving in to intercept the Rangers, but will the Rangers be able to get off their mighty bazookas and deliver the killing blow to the armored car? They're pushing forward, so they're ignoring the Stormtroopers. They know their task. They have to kill it. Oh, they miss. God damn it, Hank. You have a drinking problem. Anyways, we're seeing the Stormtroopers pushing up now. One of the toughest troops in game. And certainly a decent replacement for Grenadiers, although a bit more expensive. Noluckystrike, they're holding most of the map, really doing some damage here. The armored car is definitely going to be a bit out of the fight. And we actually now seeing the Sturmgeschütz on the way. Probably from the assault gun battalion of the Panzer Division. Later on, though, most Panzer Divisions even had to give up those, as again, things were beginning to be a bit lacking. Grenades going off against the MG, could do alright. MG crew almost down. Sticky bomb on the armored car, damaging the engine. Super Jeep continuing to report on the state of the Krauts. Firing away and doing lovely, lovely damage. Super Jeep, of course, needs to be careful. At the same time, the stormtroopers, taking advantage of the lack of Americans on the left-hand side, are stealing their territory back. Rather than moving up. Noluckystrike now going for a tank depot. And there we go, the first Sturmgeschütz. Kampfkraft sending up for Sandland as well. More grenades going off before the riflemen pull off a retreat. Rangers moving up. No Thompson submachine guns have been equipped for those. That could actually have been an idea, perhaps, you know, equipping them with submachine guns. Would make them sterling assault infantry. Stormtruppen moving up. And also, fun fact about the first sort of SS units, the Waffen-SS, that is, a company was actually called a Storm. Fun little fact there. Rangers moving in. They're probably trying to see if they can't do some damage here. They're having a bit of trouble, though. The Stuk moving in, basically pushing them around, and we do see the Rangers assault fail, partly because they're actually committed only with that and support. There was nothing else to really support them. No infantry. You know, a rule of, you know, always a good tip when pulling off an assault, you know, usually want to send in more than one squad at a time. I think Noluckystrike might have slightly blundered there. But making good progress there, the stormtroopers were pushed away. They lost one man. Nebelwerfer now adding in some artillery. Riflemen and Rangers moving out. Now looks to be gathering up a larger force, though. Needs to be careful here. He's going to be marching straight into the jaws of Sandland. Super Jeep, of course, reporting on what's awaiting the infantry. Mines going down there, so obviously it's Noluckystrike's gone infantry himself. And a tank destroyer, the M18 Hellcat. Really fast tank destroyer in the actual war. Also very thin-skinned tank destroyer in the real war. And there we go, the Nebelwerfer. Sandland inquiring about a tank depot. Could also mean a tank destroyer. I mean, that's rather the problem with such, you know, abbreviations. I mean, obviously, I mean, Sandland hasn't really seen much except the grenades and infantry. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's a good guess going for the tank depot is what's going to be happening. I mean, again, the usual thumb is the longest, you know, something's waiting to get something else, and you're usually only seeing a lower tier. I mean, the lot more likely that's going for the bigger one. But the tank destroyers, no, the Jeep's actually moving in there. Tank destroyers moving up in the north. Rangers right moving up. And we're actually seeing Thompson's up, but the MG stopping them. We are seeing another force pulling up in the flank. Could cause problems for the MG, but no, it's a presence. The Rangers fire up. The tank destroyer is being bogged down by stormtroopers of the Panzerschreck. Not really looking good. Noluckystrike's assault seems to have failed utterly. And rather repelled viciously by Sandland. Although it looks like he could get an armored car. The Hellcat could fire off. No, it's 76mm gun. Misses. It's moving in there for another attempt at the kill. The stormtroopers are moving up to get a return hit. They miss, though. And another Nebelwerfer moving up. And this is a Nebelwerfer battery being prepared, apparently. Well, technically it would have been just called a Werfer battery, I suppose. And they actually had some more unique artillery in the SS. They had the Reichenwerfer, which was basically a German Katyusha. In fact, they were basically just using Russian rockets and basically firing them like a Katyusha. The only difference was they were using half-tracks for it. Fun little fact, actually, there. Not something you hear an awful lot about. But I figure that might interest some. Bit of quiet now. Looks like he's trying for another direct assault. Throwing in 2 tank destroyers now. No tanks, though. I really think he would benefit with just 1 Sherman to, help clear up the infantry and the MGs. He could even, upgun it if the Stooks were a bit too much of a threat, in which case, a Sherman will have a considerably much better chance. There we go, the armor car coming on ahead. We're seeing troops flanking in from several sides, rather than moving up there. You could even get in some artillery, perhaps, and, call it in there. And there we go, moving up. Folks, no, MG gunner actually down. Rangers advancing up, though, coming on heavy fire from the machine gun tank. Is already a bit out of the fight again. Another assault from Noluckystrike, already bogging down a bit, but he seems actually to be making progress. He's continuing. Grenade on the stormtroopers. Submachine guns. The Thompson submachine gun, actually a very heavy machine gun. Just tank through everything. The MG crew could get overwhelmed, and there we go. It rather looks like it. The MG is dealt with. Armor cars have forced away the Rangers. Volkswagen managed to get in close enough. Tank destroyers actually pulling back without really getting anything knocked out. I think that might have been a bit of a mistake, in particular considering that, this one could perhaps have been committed a bit more. Volkswagen moving up, and the other Nebula over there looks like he's in fact firing away now, trying to suppress the American advance and delay it, which is definitely a good choice there. Super Jeep being a bit reserved now. Ooh. Was quick to get out of that building before the rockets hit it and set the roof on fire. Stuart, though, pushing a bit forward. No veterans forward, by the way. Interesting. Usually you'd see a bit for that, though he might be getting that now. Second Stug out.
Listen here, Rangers.
Supplied upgrade on the way.
Jeep is ready.
Oh! Absolutely ballsy there by Noluckystrike. He's laying down a mine right in the path of entry there. Any off-map units called in will hit it. How and he's also going to be sneaking right into the base. What a bastard. What a sneaky, cheeky bastard. Interestingly enough, Noluckystrike can actually just try to hit the base with some more forces, try and do some damage there. Instead of hitting the more prepared front line, hit the weaker spots. Hit the part, where Sandland isn't so strong. That's part of your good strategy, Not hitting your opponent at the strongest, but hitting him at the weakest. Forcing him to pull away from the strongest to protect that which is weakest. And he's got quite a bit of front line to defend, and again, this is considerably weaker. So Noluckystrike could really hit there and do some damage. Keep pulling up, probably spotting the way for any tank destroyers in case stormtroopers are nearby, which is a good move. In fact, I think the Americans rather operate like that with tank destroyers. Basically, they had a sort of security section, which basically ensured that the tank destroyers wouldn't walk into a trap. Oh, bun grenade right into the window! 2 riflemen down as high explosives just kill them outright. Rangers nearby, Pioneers moving up straight into the Rangers line of fire. Hellcats blasting away at the Wehrmacht quarters. He could even try and go for the Kavkov sensor. That would actually be pretty nasty. Nebula was firing away, and the Nebula was also considerably exposed. And a Pioneer squad died. A horrific death, and there we go. The Hellcats are moving in. Keeping the Jeep close so they don't get surprised by sneaky stormtroopers with Panzerschrecks. And there we go, pulling away. Really, a nice combination of Jeep and Hellcats. Certainly pays off a bit there. Though now the Hellcats need to get away. Sadly, though, he doesn't actually have anything to cover it. But the stormtroopers turn out to be absolutely horrible and actually misses. That's something. 2 more tank destroyers on the way. I would have liked to see some Shermans sort of provide support. And perhaps some more Rangers to push in. Armor car takes a bit of a blasting there. Storm's moving out. Pioneers and the Sturmgeschütz now moving out. Quite the tank hunter force, leaving actually the right hand side now quite exposed to tank destroyers. And we're seeing the tank destroyers actually pulling out. And now, of course, the Sandland is forced to get in. This is what I'm talking about, in fact. But we'll just wait for the mid-game analysis. Needs to be careful with that one, though. And now, of course, Sandland is pulling away his forces' weight from there. Come on, Noluckystrike, pull away, pull away, pull away. Nebula is firing, and artillery getting called in. on the Nebelwerfer. But mid-game analysis, and let's more specifically look at that part down here. What was that was happening again? Sandland realized this is a very exposed flank. He might try again, so pull down my forces there. What does Noluckystrike do? I mean, he's figuring, okay, Sandland's pulling down there. I will then shift my forces here towards here, which is now undefended. I mean, that's why I usually want some sort of reserve position where I can then quickly react to things while you have some sort of thing that can have both sides hold up the enemy until the reserves arrive. At least in my sort of theory here and strategy. Either way, though, I mean, now Sandland's actually quite more on the back foot because, again, he's constantly moving from point to point. He's now the one reacting. Noluckystrike's acting, and he's acting in a way that benefits him. He's also calling in artillery now on the Nebelwerfer, and generally he's having the advantage now. Question is, can he keep it up? And can Sandland do anything to counter it? We'll see. But of course, I mean, Sandland's in a bit of trouble now. Again, he's forced to react. He needs something here to sort of keep any harassers away. Perhaps some mines could work out. And he needs to be a bit more aggressive. Some way he needs to perhaps force Noluckystrike into an engagement. But let's return to the fight. Nebelwerfer actually went down. The Nebelwerfer has werfed its last Nebel. Stuke's fighting away, blasting the riflemen with high explosive shields. The Storms are moving up as well. One Hellcat went down. Again, I do think that was a bit unfortunate move done there by him. Storms was getting blasted, and we could see the armor cars getting knocked out, at least one of them. No, Hellcat takes a huge blasting from the Stormtroopers. More artillery getting called in now on the Hellcat armor cars. I think that might have been a bit more of a... But I think that was Noluckystrike getting a bit too clever for himself. Blowing up some of the cars, but now he needs that other Hellcat out there, and he doesn't. So in that case, he got a bit too greedy. And actually lost a lot of resources, which otherwise, you know, he could have saved and then used against Sandland in another engagement. I imagine 4 Hellcats striking this sort of force would have been actually quite devastating for Sandland. The Jeep continues. Super Jeep scoring another kill for Lady Liberty. Noluckystrike regrouping. Moving up on the left-hand side again, he's trying to probably pull another assault towards Sandland space, towards the 2nd SS Panzer Division Panzer Depot. There's so far no actual panzers as such, just assault guns. But that's actually usually how it went. Usually the Germans were sort of out of a division, sort of form 2 Kampfgruppen. They would form the armored one, which was basically all the panzers. And the Panzer Grenadiers in armoured half-tracks, usually in that way, a sort of sense. And then they'd form up a much more, you know, softer one. Basically all the truck-mounted Panzer Grenadiers, supported by the artillery, which could probably also include the assault guns. In that way, you know, they had 2 sort of very different combat groups for different tasks. One, you know, more fast, one more, you know, heavy strikes. Which tended to actually work out quite well. So fun little fact there on German Kampfgruppe organization, and this was certainly probably more the softer Kampfgruppe, I suppose, if you could call it that. And again, the Jeep leading the way. Again, he's checking there's nothing in the way that could surprise his Hellcats. Really nice. And the MG crew here getting blasted. The Jeep moving up. And we armored car could go down. Artillery getting called in. Oh, he's blocking the line of entry for the Stooks. Nicely done there. Very nicely handled. Armored car out of control. And we could see another Nebelwerfer go down, but no, he pulls away. Bit of a miss there. And the NG's actually been decrewed. And what would really be interesting now if he's actually begun laying down mines here to sort of make it harder for Sandland to move from here to there. Really some opportunities. Stormtroopers though are moving up. The Jeep needs to get away though. The security Jeep, Super Jeep, save yourself. The Germans don't need kryptonite to take you out. And yeah, this could actually go up badly for Noluckystrike. Oh dear, the Jeep's moving straight in front of the Stug. No, Jeep, no. He was too slow. Dodging rockets, dodging Stug. No, he can't micromanage it enough. And the Jeep went down. Super Jeep has died. A sad day for the American nation, as it lost its favorite Jeep-based hero. But definitely he should have been moving that Jeep up faster. He now lost a vital part of his tank destroyer strike force. But at the same time, note here, As soon as, of course, again, there was a gap in their tank defenses, he moved in and struck another place, this case the armored cars. So, I mean, really, you know, nice handling, nice, what shall we call it, surgical strikes by Noluckystrike. I mean, he's taking some very small but very high damaging forces in, getting them in, doing some damage, getting them out, very hit and run. And it's largely working, except for that Jeep there, which was a bit considerable. And again, sometimes he just seems to sort of forget what he's doing. Armored car that went down, nicely done. Now Sandland is basically down to just the 3 assault guns and a bit of infantry. His infantry, for that matter, having taken quite some losses. And we're seeing a second stormtrooper squad now out for Sandland. Hellcat needed repairs, 3 so far. Still no Shermans. We're seeing an off-net combat group providing another squad of Rangers. Riflemen, 30 caliber and anti-tank, and if used probably could do some damage, although neither of us could also do some damage. And there we go, pushing up. Rangers moving straight into it and getting hammered by the needle of rockets. The MG in particular suffering badly. Even the anti-tank, though, takes a few volleys, and the crew dies. That's quite unfortunate. Talk about a bad baptism of fire. But let us return to Sandland with 6 command points, quite a few resources lacking, and he's stopped heavily equipping in more stormtroopers with Panzerix. He's really worried about the Hellcats, obviously, but now he's actually forgetting a bit all the infantry, although in this case he managed to push away the Rangers. Of course, if Noluckystrike was to equip these Rangers with submachine guns as well, he could actually equip quite an infantry assault force. And he's going for the manpower blitz. Interesting, intriguing, fascinating. Rangers here getting blasted though by the stormtroopers. And grenade! Veterans do, by the way, and the Rangers are just taking names from the stormtroopers. The SS Panzer Grenadiers, though, managed to, in the end, overwhelm them with a storm of rockets. Hellcats all cloaked on parade, getting repaired. And again, the base is quite vulnerable. And again, he goes to mine this spot. Cheeky, cheeky bastard. Interesting enough, I mean, he could try and knock out the Kampfkraft Center, which would definitely delay any further veterancy for Sandland. And another Stormtrooper squad, but ignores the mine. I'm actually a bit unsure if these actually work out. But further fighting up here. Grenades getting locked. Rangers, Riflemen. Hellcat Rex crashed. And veterancy too for the assault guns, adding machine guns, making it a lot more tricky. Riflemen, Stormtroopers fighting in the German base. Anti-tank gun joined in. Pioneers salvaging the Hellcat for anything could be traded in for munitions. And the Rangers moving up straight into the assault guns. Need to be careful there. Oh dear, looks like the Rifleman squad actually went down to the Stormtroopers down in the base. And another Stormtrooper squad. Manpower Blitz chosen, and he's calling in Stormtroopers. He's calling in the entire SS Panzer Grenadier Company. Crikey. And Noluckystrike missing his Jeep. Yes, it'd rather ensure you had a safe enough. And oh dear, could be that Sandland has found his cure for the base strikes. He's hitting Noluckystrike's base. He's going to force him to choose between either, doing some damage to his base or losing his own. Nicely done there, I think, by Sandland. Sometimes a base assault is the right move, and this, in this case, is in fact. Though you should be careful, the storms are a bit too close to the machine guns by the base. At the same time, the Kampfkraft Center is getting hammered by the Hellcats. Still no Sherman, though. I mean, really, would it really hurt Noluckystrike so much to get a Sherman perhaps upgun it? Oh well. And there we go. Kampfkraft Center is down. Kampfkraft Center lost. Near. And the more storms are moving up. Assault guns pulling up. And there we go, bunker down, and calling in artillery on the Sturmbannführer. He needs to finish it off, though, before the Stug comes out. And there we go, though. Stug finishes just in the nick of time. A fourth Sturmgeschütz. And already, though, getting hunted down by the Hellcats. That could be quickly a lost Sturmgeschütz, and a nice, easy kill for... No, the Stormtroopers, die Stormtruppen. Unleashing us. There we go, though. They get the Stug. And escape, even. They should be careful not to retreat right into the assault guns. Rangers blasting the Stooks here. Hellcats could hit the flanks. Hellcat here needs to stop stopping. And there's also quite an exposed Nebulova right there. And now the base is under direct assault. The machine gun rotation is scoring. The stormtroopers are following up this glorious attack. Oh dear, again he forgot about one unit and lost it. Sticky bombs, bazookas, Noluckystrike fighting a desperate fight to keep down the assault guns. So nicely supported by the stormtroopers. Really making a mess of things for him. Of course, he was to get one off-map combat group that just running with Hellcats to hit the flank of the Stooks. That might be it. But there we go. Stormtroopers actually taking heavy losses. The Hellcats just unleashing volley after volley, just decimating them. And another assault, this time of 30 galloping straight into Sandland space. Really a different fight in many ways. And the storm... Oh, the MD actually needs to get away while the stormtroopers, though, could get knocked out. Complete barracks actually out now for Sandland. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And the Hellcats roll out. One Stook. Oh dear. And there we go. Off-map combat group providing another Hellcat. Something actually gallant could have been the stormtroopers. 30 caliber mortar and riflemen. Nebelwerfer exposed. Nebelwerfer exposed. Oh dear. Our tanks are superior. Yes, but it's not a tank. Storms was going to move in. MG desperately providing cover position as well. And these Rangers need to be careful. Nebelwerfer decrewed. If Sandland, Noluckystrike was to recruit that, he could get some nice artillery. Another manpower blitz. And he's sending out a forward barracks. Although he's getting mortared right now. Come on, Noluckystrike. Recruit that Nebelwerfer. Turn the German rockets against themselves. Please. It's so rare that you actually see an opportunity like this just being handed to the American player and then he actually fails to take it. And Sandland keeps up the manpower blitz magic. Pouring out another stormtrooper squad out. Oh, Stook trying to get repaired, getting mortared. Not looking good there. Gunnery is now actually being trained. More stormtroopers moving up. No assault rifles as of yet, though. Hellcats patrolling. Pioneers getting blasted in the heroic attempt to repair, and the Hellcat could move in a flank and knock it out. And there we go, full infantry force from the 5th with Rangers. Some Ranger battalion, as that was actually how they were organised. In independent battalions to be attached where it was needed. Rangers pushing forwards past the stormtroopers, rifle following up. Nebelwerfer still not crewed. Stook down. And the stormtroopers just pushing up now with grenadier support. A full assault. Rangers getting blasted and pushed away. These Americans fight like sick dogs. Oh, I love that one. And a pack now out for Noluckystrike as well. And the last 2 assault guns for Sandland. Looks like he's not intending to replace them. Noluckystrike could look like he's sitting out for another assault. Double supply upgrades. He could do with a mega station perhaps, or could have done with it. Now might be too late. Sadly, he did not get that Nebelwerfer. I really think he could have benefited from that one. And again, going in for the base. Is he going to pull off a full assault there? Try to completely knock Sandland out of the fight that way. 50 caliber actually on it. That might have been because it's from an off-map combat group. Although I can't imagine Noluckystrike upgrading a Hellcat with a 50 caliber. And artillery going in as well. On the Krieg barracks, actually. To ensure nothing comes out of it. And we're actually seeing Stormtroopers now being equipped with assault rifles, Sturmgewehrs. And we're seeing a full infantry assault being pulled off on the left flank. Pack covering the rear. Riflemen infiltrating, Rangers infiltrating from several points. Assault rifle or submachine gun Rangers running straight into the figures of it. The other Rangers nowhere to be seen. Riflemen pushing up there, getting mortared though by their own mortars. And rather looks like this assault from Noluckystrike botched a bit. I don't think he should have been using that artillery on the Krieg barracks down there, but should have used it on something a bit more pressing during the major assault for the center. Stormtroopers Grenadiers pushing up. Only thing to really stop them now are the engineers and the 50 caliber. Mine goes off though, mine goes off. If they only had some artillery right now to call in all of this. Stormtroopers Grenadiers getting burned alive, but the Americans are pushed away. Oh dear. Mortar still firing here. The Pioneers seem to be forgetting about it. Let's go have a look at Noluckystrike. Was definitely not having any lucky strikes. And finally he gets a Sherman. Although now, again, it might be in the category too little too late. And he should definitely consider upgunning it. Or at least getting one more Sherman. Full assault going up here. 30 caliber run. Stormtroopers moving in. Oh, retreating actually in the face of all that. At the same time going for the cutoff point. MG providing support. Rifleman squad looks to have gone down in a blaze of glory. Not looking too good, not looking too good. Noluckystrike has been bled white. Partly through a series of mistakes that rather caused him to lose units a bit needlessly, I think. Damn cut-offs. Pack moving up there.
Observation posts report we are losing a sector.
Troops hiding in the building. Could be he might be trying to establish a forward barracks. Sherman getting fired at by the pack. Hellcats pushing up there with the 30 caliber. Should be careful. Rangers making a central assault. There we go. Nothing to really stop them. The pack could get overrun. Veterans 1 Rangers, by the way. Although Panzerschreck knocks out one of them. And a grenade on the Stormtroopers. Assault rifle Stormtroopers are moving up. And the Rangers find themselves pushed off. Noluckystrike in a bit of a pickle. Losing victory points, losing resources, losing territory, losing units. He's losing everything. Except his school and hopefully not his dignity. Oh, mine went off somewhere. Quite explosive. And there we go, trying to outflank the Stooks while the Sherman takes up the brunt of the beating. That's good. Rather hot to work and already there. Hellcat down to half. I mean, Stoop down to half health. Pack, they're moving up. And he's lacking in the munitions to really call in some artillery here. I mean, really, look at it. So much clumped together and so many units hard to move clumped together. Here would be an absolutely great spot for an artillery strike. Instead, he's already down one Hellcat. He's not knocked out one of the Stoops. Oh, dear. It went from good to awful right there for Noluckystrike. A failed engagement and nothing less. Sherman moves forward again. Gets one of the Stooks. Pack turning him out. Sherman needs to get out of there quickly. Minor assault already stopped again. More Stormtroopers arriving for Sandland. And the Sherman went down. And now a Tiger has arrived for Sandland. And the Rangers are taking grievous casualties on the retreat. Another Hellcat. With several more following up.
Enemy unit down.
Flamethrower engineers moving in, clearing out the pack, but that might be about it before they themselves get cleared out and left in a ditch to die.
Supply lines are broken. Territory cut off from supply.
And there we go, they're dead. Sandland is just making progress on all sides with all the stormtroopers he's employing. I don't think I've actually ever seen that many stormtroopers at one time in any game. It's actually quite impressive.
Krauts have cut forward supply lines.
Actually doing quite well considering Sandland knows how to use them. A bit of assault rifle fire being used to cover the stormtroopers. Actually a veteran-free rifleman score. That's also nasty. There we go, more Hellcats, but the question is if the time for Hellcats is not over, because now Sandland's force is shifting very heavily towards infantry. He's got a ton of it. He's got a ton of stormtroopers with assault rifles, with Panzerschrecks. And on the other hand, what Noluckystrike is left is not really suited towards dealing with infantry. Trying to crush them perhaps, and forces them off the field. Hellcats rolling forwards, the stormtroopers on full retreat.
Munitions point under attack.
And Noluckystrike refuses to give up. He's just pushing forwards, forwards, forwards. Bunker down. Tiger moving up. Fult's Grenadiers forced away. Rangers advancing. Oh, heavy loss of the rifle right there. It's a high explosive shield from the Tiger. Just guts them. Rangers doing what they can, but again, the Tiger is too much of a threat for them to handle on its own. And the Hellcats were far away and thus unable to support. Rather seems like Noluckystrike is getting more desperate. He's spreading out his forces too thinly, and he's not focusing. He's not trying to clear out one side at a time. And a forward barracks up for Sandland, allowing him to reinforce from a more forward position. The Kampfkraft Center up again.
We're losing a point out there.
And veteranry 3 infantry now. He was actually a bit late in getting that. And he's down to 1 Sturmgeschütz. But they have been able to actually hold out quite nicely, in course. Sandland and Noluckystrike quite some vexation. 4 Hellcats out! 4! But again, there's so much infantry. Grenadiers getting blasted, and there's a pack, of course. Oh, it's actually moving. Could actually find himself cleared out at the same time. Major offensive going on the right-hand side. Tiger, dozens of stormtroopers, and the Stug, and even some Fult's Grenadiers, and lots of pioneers. And there we go. The Hellcats actually managed to clear out the pack.
We are losing a
That's something.
territory.
Stormtrooper gets blasted. Cloak up though, the Hellcats pull away. They do lack that Jeep for security purposes. Again, the tragic death of Super Jeep.
We're down to 25 points. Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply.
And now going in for the Tiger. The full force of the Hellcats roll out. Trying to get it. Rushing straight into a lot of stuff, but actually not a lot it can initially stop it. The Stormtroopers though, the Stug is moving up. The Tiger taking quite a blasting, almost down. And there we go, the Tiger is down, but so is so much from Noluckystrike. His infantry's got it. His Hellcats are getting slaughtered, blasted to bits in the open fields of Angoville. Another Hellcat bites the dust. Damage engine and another Hellcat, the other one burning on fire, the crew screaming for mercy, salvation, for surrender. But sadly, County Hughes does not allow surrender. And the Stug's actually ignoring it. I think Sandland is getting pretty damn confident here. Main gun destroyed. Hellcat gone, Hellcat gone. He's down to 1 squad of riflemen. and 1 squad of rangers.
Keep those rifles ready.
And these 3 rangers are probably also going to go down.
Lines are collapsing.
He was trying to harass the resources of Sandland. Off-map combat group, armored car, rifleman, mortar, anti-tank gun. And the armored car just takes a blasting from the Panzer's Hex.
We have territory cut off from supply.
Rangers moving in, trying to again hold the cutoff. He's got some sort of delay strategy in mind. But will it work for Noluckystrike and the 5th Infantry?
Our forces are taking casualties.
Armored car went down. So many storms. GG, GG. Well played. Let's just beat this up. Basically a bit of them discussing it.
Artillery support is now available.
And Noluckystrike pretty much saying when the Jeep died, it was over. With 3 Shrek can't do it. And manpower blitz. Huzzah. So what can we learn from this match? I mean, it was really great play, you know, from both sides. Really nice aggressive play from Noluckystrike. I mean, the problem was for him, though. Some phases, I'm not sure what went wrong for him, but he just forgot about units that just stood out. The units which could easily have been saved and which could have been vital, but which were lost. Hellcat several, but also that Jeep, which was quite important. And actually, the Jeep with the Hellcat was actually pretty interesting. Again, it was his way to basically ensure the Hellcats could find the easiest targets and not run into, you know, cloaked stormtroopers. Really, in that way, it was pretty damn clever. It's really rare you see something like that, but tactically, it's a really nice thing. It's really nice again. In some ways, it's actually a bit historical, I think, in how the Americans actually ran things. So, really nice move there by Noluckystrike, but again, when the Jeep died, he rather lost a vital asset, and he never replaced it. I also think he should have gotten some Shermans up, perhaps upgunned them. That might have helped a bit. And the problem was not just that Sandland got lots of stormtroopers; it was that Noluckystrike had never countered them. He was too focused on destroying armor and not enough on clearing out the infantry as well, which rather allowed Sandland to continue to post resources into stormtroopers and slowly gain the advantage. I mean, it was quite interesting move there by Sandland, of course, and was actually quite successful. Although he could have easily risked losing up a few Panzers to his opponent if he was not careful. And there was also some problem for Noluckystrike with using artillery, you know, and less things than, you know, saying part of an assault. And his artillery usage could have been a bit better. I think also some of his interesting movements. But overall, I mean, pretty interesting fight. Great plays from both sides. And some, you know, really nice strategic aspects. Also, you know, the part of hitting the base down there, then forcing something away there, and then hitting up here. Problem was, he was not really good at sticking to it. So, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? Share this. If you didn't, send in a replay, you know, provide some feedback. What did you like about this match? What didn't you like it? What would you have done differently? And of course, you know, feel free to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch, because I'll be streaming soon there again. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.